Yes, so last lecture में हमने already elastic collision और inelastic collision और perfectly inelastic collision इनके बारे में सब देखा था। तो अभी आज के लेक्चर में हम इसके आगे बढ़ेंगे। Let us consider the loss in energy and also the final velocities after the collision in case of a head-on linear perfectly elastic collision. Okay, just wait. Okay, so I hope you can see the screen. Yes, तो देखो यहाँ पे सपोज दो बॉडीज अगर स्ट्रेट वन डायमेंशनल कोलिजन को परफॉर्म करते हैं। अभी फर्स्ट सिचुएशन में हमको वन डायमेंशनल कोलिजन कंसीडर करना है जिसमें दोनों बॉडीज जो है, ये बॉडी सपोज इस डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है और दूसरा बॉडी भी उसी डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है। हाउ विल यू डिफाइन वन डायमेंशनल कोलिजन? The collision in which the bodies are moving along the line joining the two particles. It is called as a one dimensional collision. अभी देखो इन दोनों को ज्वाइन करने वाला जो लाइन है, तो इस लाइन के along ही ये दो particles मूव हो रहे होंगे। तो maybe that this particle, first particle may be moving in this direction and the second particle is moving in this direction, or maybe that the second particle is actually moving in this opposite direction, that means in this way. तो उसको भी हम one dimensional collision ही बोलेंगे, because the motion of the two particles is just along the line joining them. तो मतलब समझो यहाँ पे एक पार्टिकल है और यहाँ पे दूसरा पार्टिकल है, so the particle should be moving in the direction which is along the line joining them. मतलब समझो इन दोनों को ज्वाइन करने वाला जो लाइन बनता है, इस लाइन के along ही इन दोनों को मूव करना होगा। अगर ये पार्टिकल इस तरफ मूव कर रहा है और ये वाला पार्टिकल अगर इस तरफ मूव कर रहा है, so they are going to collide at some point after some time here somewhere, but that is not going to be a one dimensional collision. One dimensional collision नहीं बोलेंगे उसको, क्योंकि after the collision this particle will just return in this direction and this particle will just return in this direction, so this is nowhere it's going to be a one dimensional collision. But one dimensional collision takes place only when the two particles are moving along the line joining them. ये रिमेम्बर करो ठीक से, ठीक है ना, याद रखो ठीक से। So consider a one dimensional collision. No doubt we have to consider the two dimensional collision also, but just wait for it. तो थोड़ा नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में या नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में हम वो कंसिडर करेंगे, नो डाउट. So consider the one dimensional collision of two particles of mass m1 and m2, suppose, which are already moving with the velocities u1 and u2 respectively. तो इस केस में u1 और u2 इस velocities से वो मूव कर रहे हैं. After the collision, they just start moving with the velocities which are given by v1 and v2 respectively. So suppose after collision, the first particle is moving with the velocity v1 and the second particle is moving with the velocity v2, suppose. So we need to find out this v1 and v2 with the help of m1 u1 and m2 u2. So that means we have to construct a formula which will give us the values of velocities after the collision, if we know the velocities before the collision and obviously the masses of the two particles like this. तो इन दोनों particles के mass हमको पता है, initial velocities पता है, and we want to find out the final velocities of particles v1 and v2 here now. So उसके लिए हमको दो rules use करने पड़ेंगे, क्योंकि देखो m1 m2 तो constants है, u1 u2 is also constant, but v1 and v2 are the only two variables. So in order to find the values of these two variables, we need two equations so that we can just solve them simultaneously. And that can be done by using law of conservation of momentum and law of conservation of kinetic energy, because this is a kind of head-on, one-dimensional head-on elastic collision. Okay, तो ये elastic collision की हम बात कर रहे हैं. तो elastic collision होने की वजह से जरूर मोमेंटम और काइनेटिक एनर्जी दोनों यहाँ पे कंजर्व होने जा रहे हैं. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू द लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम, we can just say that this m1 u1 plus m2 u2 will be actually equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is the law of conservation of momentum, which we can give it as equation number 1. Okay, इसको हमने इक्वेशन नंबर 1 रख दिया. चलो ठीक है. अभी लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ काइनेटिक एनर्जी क्या कहता है? दिस इज फ्रॉम द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम. Okay, now just let us apply the conservation of kinetic energy. अगर काइनेटिक एनर्जी कांस्टेंट है बिफोर कोलिजन एंड आफ्टर कोलिजन, तो इनिशियल काइनेटिक एनर्जी कितना है बिफोर कोलिजन वाला? सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी हाफ m1 u1 square is the velocity kinetic energy of the first particle, and half m2 u2 square is actually going to be the kinetic energy of the second particle. But both of these kinetic energies are the kinetic energies before the collision. Okay, initial kinetic energy we can say, and this is going to be equal to the final kinetic energy, which is actually half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. Here v1 and v2 are the velocities after the collision, and that's why we can call it as a final kinetic energy. This whole thing stands for the final kinetic energy, that is the kinetic energy after collision, no doubt. Yes, this can be given as equation number 2, which is obtained from the law of conservation of kinetic energy here, because already we know that the elastic collision can be defined actually as the collision in which the kinetic energy as well as momentum both are conserved, right? So दोनों जब कंजर्व होते हैं तभी हम उसको इलास्टिक कोलिजन बोलते हैं. और इसी बात को यूज करके हम क्या करेंगे, अभी देखो, अभी इन दोनों इक्वेशंस को सॉल्व करना थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है, बट उसको हम एक सिंपलीफाई कर सकते हैं. देखो, अगर m1 v1 ये वाला जो टर्म है उसको अगर इस तरफ लेके जाओ, और ये जो m2 u2 वाला जो टर्म है उसको अगर इस तरफ लेके जाओ, तो क्या होगा? देखो ठीक से, that means we want to transfer this m1 v1 in this side, means the terms containing m1 should be brought in one side and the terms containing m2 should be brought in other side. See here what happens. So here we can just take this m1 u1 kept as it is minus m1 v1 is brought in this side, okay, which is equal to, अब यहाँ पे ये जो m2 v2 टर्म जो बचा हुआ है वो उसको हम as it is रख देंगे यहाँ पे m2 v2 kept as it is, and यहाँ से m2 u2 वाला जो टर्म है उसको उस तरफ डालने वाले, जो कि ट्रांसफर होके यहाँ पे आ जाएगा और निगेटिव बनेगा, नो डाउट. सो दिस बिकम्स माइनस ऑफ m2 into u2. Okay, and now if we just take m1 common from these two terms here, and if we just take this m2 common from these two terms, then we can be able to get that this is m1 outside the bracket, and the bracket will contain u1 minus v1, correct? So this is u1 minus v1, okay, which is equal to, if we just take this m2 common from these two terms here, then we can be able to get this m2 outside the bracket, and we left with v2 minus u2 inside the bracket. Okay, okay, this can be actually given as equation number 1 instead of this here, because this is of no use. And actually in fact ये जो इक्वेशन नंबर 1 जिसको हमने अभी बोला है, ये एक्चुअली इसका ही तो मॉडिफिकेशन है कि नहीं, उसका ही मॉडिफाइड फॉर्म है. इसलिए दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द इक्वेशन नंबर 1 व्हिच इज यूज्ड फॉर फर्दर एनालिसिस. ओके, नाउ एंड अगेन this is also not going to be the equation number 2. Actually we are going to obtain the equation number 2 just by taking this terms in m1 in this side and the terms of m2 in that side. Okay, तो अगर हम ये m1 वाला टर्म अगर इस तरफ शिफ्ट कर देंगे तो हमको क्या मिलेगा? देखो, तो हमको मिलेगा यहाँ पे हाफ kept as it is into m1 u1 square माइनस उस तरफ से ये हाफ m1 v1 स्क्वायर हमने इस तरफ लाया, ठीक है, तो वो निगेटिव हो गया. अच्छा, अभी इस तरफ ये जो टर्म बचा हुआ है वो एज इट इज बचेगा, हाफ m2 v2 square is going to be kept as it is, and this term here is going to be shifted in that side so that it becomes negative, and hence it becomes minus of half m2 into u2 square again. Okay, now we can be able to take m1 common from these two terms. Not only m1, even half can also be taken common, right? So if we just take half m1 common from these two terms here, then we will be left with u1 square minus v1 square inside the bracket. Okay, and here if we just take half m2 common, then we'll be left with again v2 square minus u2 square inside the bracket. Yes, and then we can be able to cancel out this half from both sides, obviously, and then we'll be left with this m1 into, if we just split this according to the formula for a square minus b square, जैसा कि हम जानते हैं a square minus b square is always equal to a plus b into a minus b. तो ये फॉर्मूला अगर यूज करते हैं यहाँ पे और इवन यहाँ पे भी, तो हम देख सकते हैं आराम से कि this term will just get reduced into u1 minus v1 into u1 plus v1. Okay, and which is going to be equal to m2 kept as it is, and here inside the bracket we'll just split this also according to the formula for a square minus b square, which gives us v2 minus u2, and that is to be multiplied by v2 plus u2. Okay, and then this is going to be equation number 2 now. So this is equation number 2. Okay, तो अभी अगर हम सपोज इन दोनों इक्वेशंस को अगर डिवाइड करते हैं, taking the ratio of 2 divided by 1. ओके, 2 और 1 का अगर रेशियो लेते हैं तो देखो क्या होगा. तो न्यूमरेटर में यहाँ पे इसका 2 का LHS आ जाएगा. ये पूरा जो है, this is the LHS of equation number 2, which is to be kept in the numerator here. So m1 into u1 minus v1 into bracket u1 plus v1 kept here as it is, and that is to be divided by the LHS of equation number 1 here, which is going to be already m1 u1 minus uv1, right? So here we have to put this as m1 into u1 minus v1. Okay, here this, and in the RHS again we have to just consider the equation number 2 here. ये जो equation number 2 का RHS है वो हमको डालना है इधर न्यूमरेटर में, so that we get this as m2 in bracket v2 minus u2 into v2 plus u2. Okay, and then this has to be divided by the RHS of this equation number 1, which is already there. This is m2 into v2 minus u2 is replaced here in the denominator. So here it is m2 into v2 minus u2. Okay, now if we just see carefully, then this m1 is going to get cancelled. This m1 gets cancelled. u1 minus v1, u1 minus v1 gets cancelled. Even here m2 gets cancelled, and also this v2 minus u2 gets cancelled straight away. They are common factors, and what we are left with is simply, here we will be left with simply यहाँ से फर्स्ट RHS में से क्या बचा हुआ है, u1 plus v1. okay, which is going to be equal to v2 plus u2. अभी आफ्टर ऑल बीच में प्लस ही तो है ना, तो उसको उल्टा उल्टा करके भी लिख देंगे तो भी चलेगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So that means the sum of u1 and v1 here is going to be same as the sum of u2 plus v2 here. तो ये बहुत important result हमको मिल गया यहाँ पे कि the sum of initial and final velocities of the first body and the sum of initial and final velocities of the second body remains constant. But this result can also be put in a different form. एक अलग फॉर्म में अगर इसको हम लिखने के लिए ट्राई करेंगे ना, तो देखो यहाँ पे ये जो v1 है, this v1 has to be transferred in that side. Okay, and u2 has to be transferred in this side. So what happens is u1 minus u2 comes out to be equal to, here it is v2 minus v1. So see here, and here v2 minus v1 stands for the relative velocity after the collision, and u1 minus u2 stands for the relative velocity before the collision. Or we can just call this u1 minus velocity, u1 minus u2, as the velocity of approach. Remember, it is called as velocity of approach. Approach matlab how fast the bodies are approaching each other before they collide with each other. तो collision से पहले कितना फटाफट वो नजदीक आ रहे हैं उसको हम बोलते हैं velocity of approach, and it can be found out by using this u1 minus u2 formula here, no doubt. And at the same time, v2 minus v1 is the velocity with which the two bodies are receding from each other, which we can call it as a velocity of recession. Means the velocity with which the bodies just recede from each other. दूर जाने का जो velocity उनका, separate होने का जो velocity है, उसको velocity of separation भी बोल सकते हैं. Velocity of recession को velocity of separation भी बोल सकते हैं, बिल्कुल. So velocity of approach and velocity of recession are just found to be equal in this case, and hence we can just get an important result here, that if we just talk about the coefficient of restitution, as we have just talked about in last lecture, the coefficient of restitution is actually defined as the negative ratio of relative velocity of after collision upon relative velocity before collision, जिसका फॉर्मूला हमको मिला था ऑलरेडी v2 minus v1 न्यूमरेटर में, और डिनोमिनेटर में क्या आएगा हमारा u2 minus u1, करेक्ट है. सो और इसको इसमें भी ये जो माइनस साइन है इसको हमने नीचे डिनोमिनेटर के अंदर पुश किया था, जिसकी वजह से यहाँ पे जो रेशियो है वो इस तरह से हमको मिल गया था, जो कि v2 minus v1 upon, actually it becomes reversed and it becomes u1 minus u2 in this way. But as we already know that this u1 minus u2 and v2 minus v1 are going to be the same in case of elastic collision, which means that in case of an elastic collision only, this ratio v2 minus v1 and u1 minus u2 being the same, it will just get cancelled, and here we can just be left with this e to be simply equal to 1 in case of elastic collision. So for perfectly elastic collision, we can just say that the coefficient of restitution happens to be 1. Okay, तो perfectly elastic collision के लिए ही ऐसा होता है, याद रखो ठीक से, e becomes equal to 1. Okay, चलो ठीक है. तो ये तो हमने just as a side product करके ये समझ लिया, ठीक है. But that was not the aim actually of this derivation. इस derivation का aim कुछ और ही है, ये हमने just prove करने के लिए कर दिया. But here what we have to do here is we want to find out this v1 and v2 using this u1, u2 and m1 and m2. So how we are going to do that? तो उसके लिए हमको इस equation को equation number 3 बोलना पड़ेगा. Okay, so this is suppose equation number 3. And now if we just solve these equations 3 with this equation over 1 here, तो इस 3 को 1 के साथ हमको mix करके solve करना है. Then we can be able to get the expression for v1 and v2 as well. So v1 का expression मिलने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, देखो इधर से v2 का वैल्यू निकाल के लेंगे और वो equation number 1 के अंदर डाल देंगे. Let us do that, or just use this equation here. ये अंदर भी डाल देंगे तो भी चलेगा, इसको equation number 1 बोल सकते हैं आराम से, ठीक है. So put this value, put the value of v2, which is v2 के बदले क्या आने वाला है, देखो ये u2 इस तरफ डाल देंगे तो हमको मिलेगा u1 plus v1 minus u2, करेक्ट है. यस, तो ये जो है ये वैल्यू v2 का हमको डालना है इधर v2 के बदले, दिख रहा है ये इक्वेशन के अंदर, यहाँ पे v2 के बदले हमको ये वैल्यू डालना है, ठीक है. तो हाउ दिस इक्वेशन विल गेट मॉडिफाइड इन इक्वेशन नंबर 1 वी कैन से. सो अभी इक्वेशन नंबर 1 जो है वो मॉडिफाई हो जाएगा और हमको मिलेगा m1 u1 plus m2 u2 which is already there is equal to, अब यहाँ पे m1 v1 that is we want to find out now here. So m1 v1 kept as it is plus here m2 v2, इस v2 के बदले ही हमको ये वैल्यू डालना है जो कि ये पूरा वैल्यू हमको दिख रहा है, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे m2 kept as it is and v2 since it is going to be in this addition of the three terms, we have to put it in the bracket. So यहाँ पे इस bracket के अंदर हमने इसको डाल दिया u1 plus v1 minus u2. Okay, and now we'll just try to solve this whole equation for v1. तो यहाँ पे हमको v1 वाले टर्म्स एक तरफ लेके आना है और v2 बिना v1 वाले टर्म्स दूसरी तरफ. ओके, तो अभी देखो इसमें ये m1 u1 kept as it is plus m2 u2 is also kept as it is. Here m1 v1 is also kept as it is. Here we can just open this bracket by m2. So m2 is to be multiplied with each of these terms inside. Okay, so that we can just get this as m2 into u1 plus m2 into v1. Okay, and finally minus m2 into v2 u2 here. Okay, now just take all the terms containing v1 in one side and not containing v1 in other side. So m1 v1 and m2 v1, these are the only two terms which contain v1, right? And they are already on the RHS. So just transfer this term and this term in this side so that we can just be left with this m1 v1 and m2 v1 on the RHS, so that we can just take common v1 common from these two terms and find out v1 from that. Okay, so let us do that. Yes, so if we just transfer this term in that side and this term in that side, keeping both of these terms on the same side, तो देखो नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या हमको मिलेगा. Yes, so this m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is kept as it is. अभी उधर से ये जो टर्म है इस तरफ आ रहा है और इवन ये वाला टर्म भी इस तरफ आने वाला है. ठीक है, तो ये बनेगा माइनस m2 u1, ये टर्म इस तरफ आने से वो प्लस पॉजिटिव बन जाएगा, तो वो बनेगा प्लस m2 u2. ओके, एंड इक्वल टू के उस साइड में सिर्फ दो ही टर्म्स बचे रहेंगे, ये m1 v1 वाला और m2 v1 वाला बस. So we can just list out them as it is. Here it is m1 v1 plus m2 v1, no doubt. Okay, so here we can just collect all the terms containing u1 from this RHS. So we can just take them combined together. So we can just take u1 common from these two terms, no doubt. So m1 u1 minus m2 u1. Here it is combined together plus here we can just see that m2 u2 and m2 u2 are just repeated terms. So repeated terms will just get doubled and hence we can just get this as 2 times of m2 into u2, no doubt, which is going to be equal to, here if we just take v1 common from these two terms, then we can just left in the bracket m1 plus m2 as it is and v1 outside the bracket. So here even we can just take this m1 minus m2 inside the bracket and u1 will be left outside the bracket, plus we can just write this as 2m2 as a coefficient and u2 will be just variable and it is multiple of that. And here you can just get this as m1 plus m2 into v1 kept as it is. But if you want to find out this v1 here, इस v1 को अगर हमको निकालना है तो each side has to be divided by m1 plus m2. तो पूरा जो है वो हम इसको m1 plus m2 से डिवाइड कर देंगे. Here we have divided by m1 plus m2. Here also we will divided by m1 plus m2. And finally RHS is also divided by m1 plus m2. So that when we divide this by m1 plus m2, so this m1 plus m2 just gets cancelled and only v1 will be left inside in the RHS here, which we want actually. So the final result can be drawn here to be simply like v1 is equal to तो यहाँ पे देखो ये u1 जो है वो अकेला वेलोसिटी वाला टर्म है, बाकी सब पूरा जो टर्म है वो मास का ही है, ये पूरा मास का टर्म है, which can be considered to be the coefficient of that u1. So what is the coefficient of u1? देखो u1 का कोएफिशिएंट आपको मिल रहा है m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2. Okay, and plus here this is the second term containing u2 here. So u2 is to be kept as it is, and what is the coefficient of that u2? We can just say it is going to be 2m2 in the numerator here. So this is 2m2 upon m1 plus m2 once again in the denominator. So actually this is going to be the formula for finding the velocity of the first body after the collision. Remember, the velocity of the first body after collision can be found out by using this formula. It is somewhat difficult to remember, but just try to remember this formula correctly. m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2 times of m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u2. देखो एक बात तो क्लियर है, नीचे डिनोमिनेटर में m1 plus m2 m1 plus m2 दोनों के अंदर है, नो डाउट, और एक का जो कोएफिशिएंट है वो u1 है और दूसरा कोएफिशिएंट u2 है, नो डाउट, बट न्यूमरेटर में फर्स्ट टर्म के अंदर m1 minus m2 दिख रहा है और सेकंड टर्म के अंदर 2m2 है, इतना याद रख लो बस खत्म. And in the same way as we have got this value of v1 here, we can just able to get this value of u2 also. See how? तो u2 का वैल्यू निकालने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, v2 का वैल्यू निकालने के लिए क्या करेंगे, देखो ठीक से. So in order to find out the value of v2, see here, this equation can be slightly transformed. ये वाला जो इक्वेशन है वो हम थोड़ा मॉडिफाई करेंगे. We'll just express it in terms of v1. ओके, यहाँ पे हमने v2 के फॉर्म में उसको एक्सप्रेस किया था, ठीक है, और v2 का वैल्यू इस इक्वेशन के अंदर, ये वाला इक्वेशन के अंदर डाल दिया था, करेक्ट है, तब जाके हमको v1 मिला था. अभी हम उल्टा करेंगे, इसमें से v1 का वैल्यू निकाल के लेंगे, इस इक्वेशन में से v1 का वैल्यू कितना आएगा बताओ. we can say that the value of v1 will be actually obtained to be, ये u1 को सिर्फ उस तरफ डाल दो तो v1 का वैल्यू मिल जाएगा आराम से. तो v1 will be equal to u2 plus v2 minus u1, correct है. So this is the value of v1 here, which is to be put in equation number 1 again. तो ये जो वैल्यू है हमको सीधा जाके यहाँ पे, सॉरी, ये वैल्यू जो है यहाँ पे डालना है, v1 के बदले डालना है, ठीक है. एंड जस्ट वी हैव टू सॉल्व इट in the same way as we have done it here. So let us try to do that. Yes, so this is the value of v1, which we want to put it in equation number 1. And what is equation number 1? We already know that it is m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. ओके, तो अभी यहाँ पे ये v1 का जो वैल्यू है वो यहाँ पे हमको डालना है. So let us do that. So we can just get this as m1 into u1 plus m2 into u2 kept as it is, which is going to be equal to m1 into v1. v1 के बदले ये पूरा ब्रैकेट हमको डालना है, जो कि u2 plus v2 minus u1 kept as it is, and plus m2 v2 which kept as it is. Okay, now if we just open the bracket, then we can be able to get that m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to, here the bracket will be open by m1 So m1 into u2 plus m1 into v2 minus m1 into u1, which is going to be equal to plus m2 into v2 again. Now again you have to keep the values, the terms containing v2 in this side only, and we have to shift the terms not containing v2 in other side, so that we can be left with the terms like m1 u plus m2 u2. From this, m1 u1 comes in this side, so that it becomes negative and it becomes minus of m1 u2. Okay, and this term also just gets in this side and it becomes positive, so it becomes plus of m1 u1, and that is going to be equal to m2 m1 plus m2 v2. Yes, and then we'll be able to take this v1 v2 common from these two terms. So if we just take v2 common from these two terms, then we will left with m1 plus m2 inside the bracket. Okay, but what about this here? So if we just see carefully, then this m1 u1 and m1 u1 is just repeated twice. So we can just double it and have this as add up together as 2 times of m1 u1. Okay, and what else? If we just combine these two terms here, then we can just take u2 common from this. Okay, so if we just take u2 common, then we'll be left with m2 minus m1 into u2 as it is, and that is going to be equal to this. तो ये हमको मिल रहा है. Okay, so and then we can just divide now the whole equation by just m1 plus m2, so that this m1 plus m2 gets cancelled here in the RHS, and we'll be left with only v2 on RHS, which we want actually. So we'll have to divide this LHS also by the same, that is m1 plus m2 here, and this is to be divided by m1 plus m2, no doubt. And after we divide, this m1 plus m2 will just get cancelled, and we'll be left with only v2 in that side. And what is left in this side here? So here the first coefficient of this u1 here, this u1 का coefficient क्या बनने वाला है देखो ठीक से. So coefficient of u1 will become 2 times of m1 upon m1 plus m2, and plus here it is m2 minus m1 upon m1 plus m2 into u2 outside the bracket. And now we'll be able to get the expression. Even चलो ठीक है, अगर तुमको m2 minus m1 है या m1 minus m2 है, ये अगर याद नहीं रखना है, if you want to keep the order same, then you can just take a minus sign common from this second term here. ये जो second term दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, इसमें से minus sign just common ले लो, so that these terms will just get reversed and we'll get the final result, that is for v2. तो v2 के लिए क्या हमको मिलेगा देखो ठीक से. Yes, so we can just write that v2 is equal to, in the first bracket we can write this as 2m1 upon m1 plus m2 multiplied by u1, and here instead of this plus we can just make it minus here, because we want to write this m2 minus m1 as m1 minus m2, and it's okay. So this will be m1 minus m2, that is to be divided by m1 plus m2, that is to be multiplied with u2 as it is here, and this is actually going to be the final equation for the velocity after collision for the second body. Okay, so these are the equations for velocities after collision in case of second body. Remember, तो ये हमको समझना है. Okay. But remember that this will happen only in case of elastic collision, not in case of inelastic collision. Okay, तो ये हमको अच्छी तरह से याद रखना है. इनलास्टिक कोलिजन के लिए ये फार्मूला नहीं है, बल्कि सिर्फ इलास्टिक कोलिजन के लिए हम ये फार्मूला यूज कर सकते हैं. बिल्कुल. So if we just summarize, then we can just be able to get that V1 is obtained to be M1 plus M2, sorry, M1 minus M2 upon M1 plus M2 into U1, and plus, first equation contains plus in between the two terms, right? So here it will be 2 times of M2 upon M1 plus M2 into U2. Okay, and V2 is already obtained to be, here it is going to be 2M1 upon M1 plus M2 into U1, right, minus, here it is going to be M1 minus M2 upon M1 plus M2 into U2, correct? So we can just understand here that for using these equations, we can just find out the velocities after collision of, in case of an elastic collision, any two bodies. If there is a special case of this formula, इन फॉर्मूलेस का कुछ स्पेशल केस हम अभी देख लेंगे फटाफट. सबसे पहला केस, स्पेशल केस जो है, तो वो है सपोज केस 1, सपोज M1 is going to be equal to M2. ओके, अगर M1 इक्वल टू M2 है तो क्या होगा? तो ये देखो, ये वाला टर्म जो है, just you can see from this, if M1 becomes equal to M2, then this M1 minus M2 becomes equal to 0. This M1 minus M2 also becomes 0. And since both of these terms gets vanished, what we get is just we left with this V1 to be simply equal to, तो V1 के लिए क्या बनेगा? देखो, V1 will be equal to, अच्छा ये जो टर्म है ये M1 minus M2 होने की वजह से वो तो 0 बन गया, फर्स्ट टर्म तो 0 बन गया इसका, बट सेकेंड टर्म क्या बनेगा? देखो, तो M1 इक्वल टू M2 होने की वजह से इन दोनों को हम M बोल सकते हैं सिंपली. तो M1 M2 बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, सिंपली M बोल दिया तो भी चलेगा. तो यहाँ पे अगर हमने 2M2 के बदले सिंपली 2M डाल दिया, तो ये बाहर रहा 2M अपॉन ये M1 प्लस M2 के बदले M प्लस M, तो वो भी तो 2M ही हो जाएगा, तो इसलिए उसको भी हम 2M लिख देंगे, एंड दैट इज मल्टीप्लाइड विद U2 हियर. सो दिस इज U2. And what about V1, V2 here? So if we just try about V2, then we can be able to get 2M upon here M1 plus M2 stands for 2M again. So this is 2M into U1 kept as it is, and the second term is going to get vanished just because of presence of this term M1 minus M2 here, and hence we can just get that this implies that V1 is going to be same as, see here, 2M will get cancelled and U2 will be left as it is here, and we'll be left with V1 is equal to U2, and at the same time this implies that अब यहाँ पे भी 2M cancel हो जाएगा और हमको मिलेगा V2 is equal to U1. What does this mean? Who can tell me? Can you express this in words? Just put it in chat box fast. What is the interpretation of this? इसका interpretation क्या है? V1 is equal to U2 and V2 is equal to U1. उसको words में कैसे express करेंगे? No, velocity is not constant actually. Its interpretation is that the velocities are interchanged. See here, velocities of two bodies have been interchanged. Interchange मतलब क्या? Whatever is the velocity of the first body before collision becomes the velocity of second body after collision, and whatever is the velocity of the first body before collision, second body before the collision becomes the velocity of first body after the collision. That is the meaning of interchange. Okay, तो interchange होने का मतलब यही है कि दोनों बॉडीज के जो वेलोसिटीज है वो आपस में बदली हो जाते हैं. ठीक है ना. जो पहले बॉडी का वेलोसिटी था पहले कोलिजन के पहले, वो दूसरी बॉडी का बन जाता है बाद कोलिजन के बाद, और जो कोलिजन से पहले दूसरी बॉडी का था वो पहले बॉडी का बन जाता है कोलिजन के बाद. ओके, so this is the first case we have to understand. Okay, the second case we can just consider here is that imagine करो अगर मान लो कि एक बहुत हेवी बॉडी है, too much heavy body just is at rest. Okay, मान लो कि एक बॉडी जो है जिसका मास m1 है, it's moving with velocity u1 in this direction suppose, but the another body here is of mass m2 which is going to be very much large, almost infinity, but that body is going to be at rest. Suppose what will happen? What do you expect? What should happen if suppose एक छोटा बुलेट जो है वो हमने फायर किया, बहुत हाई स्पीड से वो जा रहा है, इस तरफ बढ़ रहा है, और एक ऐसे बॉडी के ऊपर कोलाइड करता है just like earth. This is earth like suppose earth is very much high, heavy, and its mass is just like infinity as compared to the mass of a small bullet, and suppose u2 is going to be 0. The velocity of the second body with respect to the first body is going to be very very small, negligibly small. That means it is not going to be moving. तो ऐसे केस में फिर एक्सपेक्ट क्या करते हो? अगर इलास्टिक कोलिजन है तो क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हो? What will happen? Can you tell me in the chat box? If this body just hits the another body whose mass is very very much larger, which is at rest, velocity won't change. किसका velocity won't change? First body का या second body का? What will have to happen after the collision to the first body? Okay, अर्थ का velocity change नहीं होगा, अर्थ तो वैसे भी रेस्ट में था, वो वैसे भी रेस्ट में ही रहेगा, no doubt. But what will happen to the velocity of body? Can you find out? After elastic collision, the velocity of the body will just get reversed, isn't it? It will get reversed. That means the velocity of the body after collision will just be no. If it gets buried, then we cannot call it as an elastic collision. अगर वो अंदर घुस जाता है तो उसको हम इलास्टिक कोलिजन बोल ही नहीं सकते. नहीं, elastic collision is one in which the kinetic energy is 100% conserved, or we can say that the relative elastic collision के अंदर क्या होता है कि दो बॉडीज जो है वो चिपकते नहीं है. So if जैसे कि अथर्व बोल रहा है कि if the body get buried in the earth, then it will not be an elastic collision then. वो तो हमने पहले ही क्लियर किया है कि the collision is going to be elastic one. So if the collision is elastic, then after the collision the bullet will just get fired, or it will get rebound in reverse direction, and in that case, yes, then in that case the first body of mass m1 will just bounce back or reverse in the same velocity with the same speed in the opposite direction. तो opposite direction में ये इसका velocity अगर पहले u1 रहा होगा तो आफ्टर कोलिजन कितना बनेगा उसका वेलोसिटी? -u1 बन जाएगा. देखो -u1. Why minus? Because with respect to this u1 it is going to be negative, so it will become negative. Its direction will just get reversed. That means v1 has to be equal to minus of u1, and we can just even prove this by using these equations. Let us check. See here. So first equation v1, which is going to be actually यहाँ पे m1 minus m2. But m2 is going to be infinity, as we can just see here. So infinity का मतलब ये बहुत बड़ा नंबर, ठीक है, ये infinity हो गया, upon m1 plus infinity again, and that is going to be multiplied with u1 here, and final plus, अब u2 तो 0 है ना, ये देखो ये u2 ऑलरेडी 0 है, जिसका मतलब ये हुआ कि ये 0 से मल्टीप्लाई होने के बाद ये पूरा टर्म ही गायब हो जाएगा, and this term will become 0 only. This term will get vanished, no doubt, and this will just imply that देखो m1 minus infinity will remain minus infinity only, means minus, like just like minus very high number, like minus 1000. सपोज ये m1 जो है, m1 बहुत छोटा नंबर है उसके सामने, बट और उसमें से 1000 कर देंगे और m1 plus 1000 कर देंगे, तो देखो यहाँ पे क्या होने वाला है, तो ये m1 जो है it can be considered to be 0 as compared to this m2, and that's why we can just get this minus 1000 only left as it is here. तो यहाँ पे सिंपली हमको minus 1000 मिलेगा न्यूमरेटर में और plus 1000 मिलेगा डिनोमिनेटर में, और इन दोनों का अगर हम रेशियो लेंगे तो that ratio will almost be equal to -1. Just cancel this 1000, then we can be left with -1, and here we can get this minus of u1 as a final value, which is as expected, जो कि हमने यहाँ पे expect किया था, v1 becomes equal to minus of u1, no doubt. And in the same way, v2 can be proved to be 0, just because see here, यहाँ पे m2m1 is going to be very small upon m1 plus m2. Here m1 is going to be very small, but m2 is going to be infinity, right? And that is to be multiplied with u1, which is very, but the second term is again going to get vanished just because of u2. u2 is already 0, and that's why the second term will get vanished in both of the terms here. And hence now, if we just simplify this carefully, then we can be able to get that this v2 actually becomes equal to 2m1 upon 2m1 is very small, but this m1 plus infinity becomes just infinity only. And if we divide anything by infinity, then 1 upon infinity, you must be knowing that it is going to be 0. 1 upon very large number is going to be 0, and that's why this becomes 0. So 0 plus 0 actually becomes 0, and hence we can just expect that v2 is going to be 0 as expected. That means Earth, just like Earth जो बड़ा मास वाला जो बॉडी है, वो मूव नहीं होगा, it will remain at rest only even after the collision also, and that's why the first body will just rebound with its own velocity in a reverse direction, and this is as expected, and it can be also proved from the expressions also. तो इन इक्वेशन से भी हम ये प्रूव कर सकते हैं, बहुत सारे इसके अलग अलग कंडीशंस हम यूज करके देख सकते हैं डेली लाइफ सिचुएशंस के अंदर, डेली लाइफ सिंपल सिचुएशंस के अंदर हम देख सकते हैं आराम से किस तरह से वर्क करता है, एंड वी कैन जस्ट हैव दिस एक्सप्रेशंस. तो ये दोनों एक्सप्रेशंस जो है वो 4 मार्क के लिए आपको एग्जाम में पूछे जा सकते हैं. सो जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस 2 expressions carefully and practice them at home, so that we can just continue the next part in the next lecture. Okay, thank you all of you.